It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I've had some requests from some friends on the Forest River Forum to document how it was I wired in the light additions that I've made to our Rockwood A128 camper. The first addition or modification we made to our lighting arrangement was with the ceiling lights. I've taken the lens cover off one of those to show you where the lights attach in, and the bulbs that come with that are the one here on the right, which is a type 921 incandescent bulb. Those bulbs, especially since there's two of them in each of the ceiling fixtures, are quite bright at night, and in fact we thought the light was a little harsh. So one of the first things we did was we bought these substitute bulbs. They're exact plug-in replacements, but they are LED bulbs. So now in our ceiling light fixture we have, if I can find it again, we have two of these bulbs in place of the other kind of bulbs. They're still fairly bright, and their hot light is a little less harsh, but it's still fairly point source light. It was a little bit glaring. And so we decided what we would do then, instead of putting just those in, we would also add other kinds of lighting. As we began to look around inside the unit for where we could put other kinds of lighting, we recognized that the way the sidewalls and the roofs interact on these kind of campers, there's all kinds of opportunities for some things to be put on this little gap up here. So it looked to us like a good place to put these lights would be along there. We had also had the good fortune to run into an A-liner owner when we were visiting in New Mexico last summer, who had put fluorescent light bulbs up there. We didn't think we wanted to do that because those were 110, and we often are out someplace operating only on 12 volts. So we came up with something a little different after a shopping trip to IKEA. IKEA is the place we want to always go when we think we've got all the things in the world that we really need, and we need an excuse to find something else. One of the things we found was this set, or these sets, of lights. The model number that IKEA gives it, as you can see, is Ledberg. This set of lights has a 110 volt to 12 volt conversion transformer, and then three little strips of LED bulbs. We bought 8 of these sets eventually. We didn't buy them all at once, but by the time we got done with the project, we bought 8 of them. And what I did with each one of them in order to make them operate on 12 volts was I simply snipped off the transformer. This side of the transformer over here is the side that plugs into 110 volts. I just simply snipped off the transformer at this point where it comes out there, and then I have the wire that plugs into the little lead on the back side of these light strips here, and a switch that I can use. And in fact, as you can see over here, I left the switch in line so that each of the 4 light corners, rather, where we've installed lights can be independently switched on or off. I've peeled back the cloth covering over the hinge on this unit to show you where I've run the additional lighting. I use ordinary lamp cord, and then because I wanted to run these in series parallel, I also ran an additional hot wire into that. For those of you who wondered how I got the 12 volts, I tapped into the 12 volts right here. This comes out here and then goes up into the roof up there. That's the circuit that feeds the ceiling lights. The switch right over here is a switch that disconnects the ceiling lights in case you forget to turn them off when you lower the ceiling. So when the roof is down, the switch gets pushed in and then the wire is disconnected. So all I simply did was using wire taps like these right here, a couple of little wiring taps, one red and one blue, so I could tell the boy wires from the girl wires, and then also little wiring splices. I don't know if you home brewers or home handy persons are like me, but I always see a new project as an opportunity to buy new tools, and so one of the things I got was a splicing kit. Didn't cost very much, but at least it supplied the stuff I needed. So all the attachments, for example, are made with these crimp-on connectors or with these snap-on wire taps. You can see a red one right there. That's basically it. The voltage or the wiring that's coming up through here is 12-volt wiring, so you don't have any problem otherwise. In a moment I'll show you how we have attached the strips to the ceiling, or to the A-walls rather. Just as this picture, the side wall has been lowered partly by my own personal Vanna White, my able assistant, and I'm showing you how I have on each of the 4 slanted parts of the A-walls, 2 on each side, I have 6 of these little LED light strips stuck together. They're held on with the little plastic clips that came, if I can figure out where the lens is on this thing, that came with the light strips. The little clips are held to the top with the screws that came with it. I drilled little pilot holes, put the screw into the aluminum top cap on the sidewall, and then just snapped the strips in. So that's how they fasten on. You can see down here at the end, they just terminate, the wire runs off, and I've led it through a little wire clip to sort of hold it in place, keep it from flopping around. And there is the wiring area that I had shown you just a few moments ago. Now, if my lovely assistant would slip the wall back up in place, and you can see that what I also added, in order to keep the latch handle from damaging the strip, is I put just a couple of pieces of foam rubber. Those are basically pieces of weather strip cut to about 3/4 of an inch long. It took 2 of them, so I stacked one top on top of each other, on the other, and then that prevents that, when I push it down, from actually contacting the light strip. So that's how we've done it. I hope I've been able to explain that. Unfortunately, I don't have a wiring diagram to share with you, but this perhaps may have solved your questions about how that works.